The next thing we're going to talk about, so in this video, we're going to talk about the 5-number summary of a data set, a set of numbers, and then how it's visually represented, which is visually represented with a box plot. So the 5-number summary, when you're asked to find that, we want to know the minimum value, the maximum value, so what's the lowest value, what's the highest value. We want to know the mean, the middle value, and then we want to know what's called quartile 1 and quartile 3. And as it ends, the quartiles mean that's the 25%. Right, you're going by 25. It's a quarter of the data set. So quartile 1 is the median of the second half of the numbers, which it's 25%. It's the 25% range, so it's 25% higher than all of the number values. The second quartile is the median. It's at 50%, right, of the values. And the third quartile is at 75%. Right, 70%, so it's the third quarter, right, 75%. And it's the middle value, the median value of the upper half of the numbers when they're in an ordered list, right? And then what you do is you take your 5-number summary, and the graphical representation of them is called a box plot. All right, on the box plot, again, there's a box, and what it does is it gives you the maximum value, again, on one end, the minimum value on another end. The line in the middle there is the median, and then the third quartile and the first quartile. So it sort of gives you where the majority of the data set points land. All right, is it skewed one way or the other? Is it skewed towards the maximum value or skewed towards the minimum value? It kind of gives you a feel about where the majority of the numbers land, the box plot does. And you're not going to get tested over the box plot. You just have to do homework without the box plot, but it won't show up on the midterm test. It's just something that you should be aware of. Now, you do have to know how to find the 5-number summary, but you won't be asked to graph the box plot. The box plot is just the visual representation of the 5-number summary. You will be asked to do find one on your homework, but like I said, not on the midterm exam. All right, making box plots. All right, finding the 5-number summary. All right, so finding the 5-number summary, again, we can make a graphical representation known as a box plot. The biggest thing for you is being able to find the 5-number summary. All right, the 5-number summary, again, the minimum value is the lowest value of the set. The first quarter, which we call Q1, is the middle value of the lower half, the back 50%. Technically the second quartile is the median, the middle value. The third quartile is the middle value of the upper half, and then the maximum is the highest. Now, you're not asked to find this, but just so you know that sometimes they do call them the interquartile range. That would be the box, where the box lands, the interquartile range, which would be quartile 1, quartile 2, and that would give you, well, that distance there of the box. The mean would be in the middle of that. Alright, so again, when we are finding the middle values of the upper half and the lower half, when we're finding quartile 1 and quartile 3, that's what we're asking to find. We want to find the middle value, the mean value of the lower half, and the middle value of the upper half. Just be aware is that the median should never be included in the upper half or the lower half. So if the median value is smack dab in the middle, if it's an odd set, and there's a middle value, it's not included in the upper half or the lower half. So you do not use that number when you're finding the third quarter or the first quarter. If it's an even set and you find the mean value, which would land between the two middle numbers, you just, again, that's the mean value. You will use the two middle numbers will be in the upper half and the lower half because the mean's in the middle. It's between them. All right, so again, well, I'll do an example of each so that you can see what I mean by that. All right. Just so that you know, most scientific calculators can do this. And if you know how to do it on your scientific calculator, there are videos out there on how to do it for your particular calculator. So if you have a TI-30, there's a video on how to find the 5-number summary and a box plot on your calculator. If you have a TI-83, 84 Inspire, there are videos out there on how to find the 5-number summary and a box plot on there. So again, most scientific calculators that you would use can do these. But it's a good idea to kind of know how they're found by hand. So we're going to go through by hand, and if you want to figure out how to do them on your calculator, that's if you want to do that. Alright, so we're going to do an example of an odd set and an even set. So I'm going to do one with a 5-number summary of an odd set and a 5-number summary of an even set. So I've got my set of information here. I've already ordered them for you. The first thing you should always do is make sure they're in order. So if they're not in order, list them in order because we're going to find the mean. We're actually going to find the median. Not the mean, the median. 3 different sets. We're going to find the median of the overall set, we're going to find the median of the lower half, and we're going to find the median of the upper half. Alright, so here's my set. It is already, if you look at it, is already organized in order from low to high. Alright, this would be my low number. This would be my high number. So this would be the minimum. This would be the maximum. All right, that's the easiest number to find. All right, then this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it's odd set, so there should be one number in the middle. So it's 15, which means you take away 1 and it's 14, so 7 on each side. So 7, you go 7 in on both sides. And then this is the median, which is quartile 2. And that number is bigger than 50% of the data sets. That number is smaller than 50% of the data sets. And it is. There are 7 numbers above it, 7 numbers below it. And so those 7 numbers above and below, so I'm going to erase my low high here. I'll write it out later. This is the lower half. This is the upper half. And again, I did not include 77 because 77, the median is never included in my half. It splits the halves is what the median does. All right, so now in the lower half, I look to find the median of the lower value. So I'm just looking here in this 7 set here now. What's the middle number? And since it's 7, it should have, you know, an odd number. So 7 would mean you take 1 away because that's the middle number. So there should be 3 above and 6, right? 3 above, 3 below the middle number. All right, and there is, I'm going to draw it like a triangle. There's the 70 is in the middle of the lower half. And so that would be quartile 1. All right, and then you do the same thing with the upper half. So I'm looking here at the upper half. Again, there are 7, which means 3 above, 3 below, which puts the 80 in the middle half. That would be quartile 3. And there is all of the numbers I need. So the 5-number summary would be the minimum, which is 65, maximum, which is 82, quartile 1, which is 70, quartile 3, which is 80. I guess I should put them in order. Let's do mean first. Median, not mean. Median, which again is quartile 2, would be 77. Quartile 3 is 80. And there is the 5-number summary. All right, then to draw it as a box plot. So basically you draw a line. This starting point would be the lowest number, which is 65. The stopping point would be the highest number, which would be 82. 77 is in the middle of it. And I'm just going to mark it off. Now, technically, you would probably use dash marks, but I'm just going to mark it off. All right, so 72 is a little closer, or not 72, 77, which 77 is a little closer to 82 than 65. So it's not right in the middle. It's a little closer to 82. So I'm going to draw it over here. It's a little closer, 77. That's my median. And then 80 is 3 units above that, so not a whole lot above that. That would be my 80. And then 77 units, so it should go further back than it does. And there's my 70. So again, I kind of ballparked it, but there's, again, would be with the set of it. So there's my simple box plot. Like I said, you're not going to be asked to do this on the test, just the homework. And again, the homework really is pick the right graph. So you pick the right graph that, again, is all the numbers show up on. Alright, so that was an example when we have an odd set. Now we'll have an example with an even set. Alright, so do the same thing. 5-number summary and draw the box plot. So again, I've already ordered it for you. It's already in order. Alright, low to high. It is an even set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Right, 16. I was making sure it was 16. Which means that I'm going to have 2 middle numbers, right? 16 means it's split 8 and 8. The 2 values at 8 in the middle will be my middle numbers. So it means my median is going to be between my 2 middle numbers. So I'll go 8 in, 8 in, right? That would be, this would be my lower half. This would be my upper half. The median, I keep saying median, is the halfway point between the 18 and the 19. And so I've got to find the halfway point between the 18 and 19. So you find, remember, the average of them. You take 18 plus 19 divided by 2, and it should make sense. It should come out to 18 and a half. 18 and a half is smack dab in between 18 and 19. That's the median. Right? Median. 18 and a half. Alright, well, 12 is the lowest number. 24 is the highest number. Alright, and then we look at the lower half and the upper half. So I found the median. I know the low number, I know the high number, so I've got 3 of the numbers that I want. Now we look at the median of the lower half and the upper half. And same thing, the lower half and the upper half are even sets, right? There are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which means you go 4 in, and the two numbers at 4 are your middle values. And so it's the average of the two middle values. So in this case, it's between the 16 and the 17th, but I have to find the average. So quartile 1, right, this would be quartile 1, would be the halfway point between 16 and 17. So you take your 16 plus your 17, divide by 2. And so that comes out to 16 and a half. It should make sense. The halfway point between 16 and 17 is 16 and a half. All right, then you'll do the same thing with the upper half. So again, 4 in, both sides. So you go 4 in, so the 21 and the 21. Well, this time, when it's the same number, there is no halfway between. If you did try to find it, quartile 3, you would take 21 plus 21 divided by 2, and it's just going to give you out 21 again. All right, when it's the same number, that is what the number is. All right, so quartile 1, 16 and a half. Median is 18 and a half. Quartile 3 is 21. All right, so the 5-number summary. The minimum is 12. Maximum is 24. Quartile 1 is 16.5. Median, which is quartile 2, 18.5. And quartile 3 comes out 21. Alright, so there's my 5-number summary, which this is what you need to know how to do for the quiz and the test. The box plot you do need to know how to do for the homework, so we're just going to simplify it in the homework. So draw a line, goes 12 is the starting value, 24 is the stopping value, 18 and a half, so again 18 and a half is close to the middle. It's a little closer to 24, so I'm just going to mark off 18.5. And then 21 and 16 and a half. And there's my box. Alright, so again, it's just a simple box. Like I said, you're not going to be asked to draw these. You're just going to be asked to pick them out on which one of these is the correct box plot. So as long as you can pick them out, which one is the correct spot. You are going to have to know how to find this 5-number summary. Alright, so do make sure, and these are the two cases, the even case and the odd case. So that's what you need to know, 5-number summaries. Alright, we'll stop there. We're going to pick up the last thing in this set of notes in the next video.